Well, I'm returning to my supine position here. I know some people don't like it when I post from this angle, and some people don't even like my, uh, I guess, avatar picture, which is me resting my head on the pillow, much like this, just because they think, you know, I should look more up and at them or whatever. But uh, I this is just it's just sometimes how uh, I'm. This is what brings out the meditativeness in me sometimes. So I'm going to stick with it. Um, and if you don't like it, then just listen to the audio. Or if you really don't like it, then just don't watch. But I wanted to talk about something that really caught my attention today. This is something I'd never known about before, uh, and I should have known, or it seems like I would have known. It's one of those things where I don't know why I didn't, why this information didn't filter down to me, but somehow it didn't. But let me ask you all this: did y'all know that last year, uh, in late 2020, Bob Dylan released a 17-minute song about Kennedy, about the Kennedy assassination? Did y'all know that? I did not know that. Um, and I only found out about it today. And it's called excuse me, it's called Murder Most Foul. And I don't think it's great. I'm going to say that, at the risk of being sacrilegious or whatever, for Dylan aficionados. I don't think it's that great. I think it's way too long. It's definitely repetitive. There are some moments in it where certain lines are pretty powerful, and I just think it's interesting that it existed, that it exists, and I only found out about it, like I said earlier today. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, y'all might remember that Bob Dylan recently got Me Too'd. There was some really old story, like from the late '60s, or maybe the early '70s, where a a girl who's now an old woman, I guess, said that he slept with her when she was underage, and so this came out. This became a story. I remember this like a few months ago. This became a story. Now I'm wondering if there could be a connection between Dylan, not giving up the ghost, not becoming corporatized, not just, I don't know, becoming part of the acceptable opposition in quotes, of course, because it's not really opposition at all. It's the establishment. I'm going to draw a distinction here between Bob Dylan and Bruce Springsteen. Y'all might remember a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video after I saw this book that just made my stomach turn, as I was visiting um, the bookstore. I saw this book called Renegades, and on the front is a picture of Bruce Springsteen and President Obama laughing it up together. Just two peas in a pod, just really, really enjoying each other's company. Renegades. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, and let me make this clear, I'm not a Bob Dylan fan. I'm not, I'm not a fan of his music. I, I'm not I'm not a fan of Springsteen either. You know, I'm a new wave kid. This is not my music. But I respect, I respect Dylan as a songwriter. Um, and I've respected Springsteen as a songwriter before as well. But after seeing that cover, I just it's clear to me who Springsteen really is. And and I remember thinking at the time, okay, this is getting back to what I was about to say. I remember thinking at the time, there's no, I bet you uh, that there's absolutely no way, there is 0% chance that you ever see Bob Dylan uh, on the cover of a book, of a glossy looking book with President Obama or any other president or anyone else who represents the political establishment. Uh, he wouldn't do that. I just don't get the sense that he's the kind of cat who would dig uh, uh, doing any such thing. Um, so I was just thinking, okay, Dylan records this 17-minute song about the Kennedy assassination called "Murder Most Foul," and I'll include the link to it here. Again, it's long. I'm not giving it my seal of approval, artistically speaking, but I think its heart's in the right place, and uh, it's certainly not taking the corporatized or neoliberal kind of approach to the Kennedy assassination. Oh well, all those conspiracy theorists are fools and blah blah blah. No, it's definitely saying, you listen to the song and he's definitely saying they they killed Kennedy. They did it. Um, it's clear where he stands on the matter. So so he writes this song, and then a short time later, this story comes out um, about him sleeping with an underage girl uh, in like 1972 or something. I mean, maybe even longer ago than that. Really, really old stuff. Now, if it happened, then it was wrong, and I want to make that clear. Uh, and it's possible that it happened. It's quite seems quite possible that it happened. In the '60s and '70s, rock stars pretty much had free reign, and people didn't really think about the legal age, the legal age of groupies wasn't really uh, as it wasn't really something that was made as big a deal of back then. And I think that, I'm going to be clear, I think that's wrong. I think they should have been more cognizant of it, and I don't think we should return to those days as far as that goes. So putting all that aside, let's just say that Dylan is guilty of what they accuse him of doing. Isn't the timing kind of interesting? Um, Dylan releases this song, and where he won't let go of the ghost. He won't stop being rebellious. He won't stop insisting that essentially the government, the military industrial complex, fill in the blank, what have you, was responsible for the murder of Kennedy. Uh, he won't leave that alone, and he even makes a 17-minute song about it. I mean, that's a pretty big fuck you to anybody who would want him to do otherwise. And then they dig up the story about him, or they find then this stuff comes out. I mean, you gotta think that the would be blackmailers out there, they they hold on to, they sit on so much damaging information. I thoroughly believe that we would never have heard about Bill Cosby's peccadillos, if that's a strong enough word to use in his case. I don't think we would have ever heard about that if Cosby hadn't gotten out of line. I believe he wanted to buy up some network. He was doing some things. He was making some waves, and they didn't like that. And so then the story comes out about his apparently sordid past. So that happened with Cosby. The timing was interesting there, and I think, putting everything in perspective, the timing is pretty interesting with this story about Dylan supposedly being with an underage girl in an inappropriate way, statutory rape, essentially. That comes out just decades, like I think like 5 decades plus. Suddenly, this story breaks into the news cycle, and I bet that since Springsteen's being a good little boy right now, I bet we're not going to hear any scandalous things about him. Although I'm guessing there might be things that he did as well. But as long as he's on this silly little book cover with President Obama laughing it up, a book laughably called Renegades, as if Obama was any such thing. He was thoroughly a pet of the Wall Street establishment. And Springsteen, who was supposed to be the voice of the working man, I mean, when I saw that cover, I was just, nah. I mean, it was hard to stomach. And I'm not even a Springsteen fan, but I was like, wow, holy lack of integrity, Batman. So, all of this is to say, again, that it connects together in my brain, because I remember thinking at the time of other iconic rebellious songwriter figures, and there's no fucking way, I thought to myself, that you'd see Dylan in a picture with Obama, or featured in a book, as part of a book, as with any U.S. president or any establishment figure. So there you go. Makes a lot of sense to me. So tell me what y'all think below. And below I will also provide a link to that song, which I just didn't even know about. Until a few hours ago today. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Check out my work at altrightnovelist.com. My latest book, The Insurrectionist, can be purchased at terrorhousepress.com.